I realize this. Respect this here. Check. I'm from where the hammers rung, news cannon run, where the plans were to get funded. Skate up the set to achieve this goal quick. Faced with immeasurable odds, still I gave straight bets. Someone felt the most something and you nothing. Check. I'm from the
to the night's festivity as we get ready to go. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analyst. Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. If you look at Houston, they're hoping they can carry over some of that from their undefeated homestand.
And I think for the Rockets, they're one of the NBA's
It'll be difficult. Successes last season, but this kind of dip, nobody saw it.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Modi Eunice and Howard, the post pair. Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. And it's Ariza in at the small forward. Like last season, we saw Modi Eunice make some nice strides.
Yeah, big uptick in his scoring efficiency, Kevin, on both his shooting from beyond the arc and from within the arc increased.
And Monta Eunice actually showing a newfound post repertoire there. I mean, he's deceptive. He has hooks and pump fakes, little up and unders. The Rockets looked to him for offense when they weren't playing through Harden.
Now here's Rose. Gasol. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
You know, it's always nice to get the easy look inside for your first points of the game.
It always seems to settle you down when you have some early success in the post.
Here's Beverly. A three ball. They get it back. Here's Howard. And two free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And Monta Eunice is a very confident player. I think where he can still improve is his rebounding and defensive impact. With a 7-foot frame, he's got to learn to play like a 7-foot.
And so it's Houston with it. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
I think everyone who saw that game would just have to agree was about what they could do defensively in terms of winning.
And I thought the activity was tremendous all over the court defensively. And that kind of hustle is going to pay off for you. And it also is going to keep your coach happy.
Rose gets a wide open look. Off target with his three. Rockets have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Beverly. Finished off the break.
Well, he's back and playing in front of his hometown. And it's such a rush of adrenaline when that happens. So you're going to be dealing with friends and family asking for tickets. But the chance to come back to play where it all started and put on a show for the people you grew up with, there's not much more that's better in terms of motivation.
That's a tough shot for anyone. Those runners need a soft touch.
Bulls have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Here's Bairstow. And again. And no good by Chicago. Hands of the ball out of bounds. Howard touched it last.
Chicago ball. And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
Rose goes in. It's hauled in by Beverly.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And he gets the bucket. Ariza's got 5 now.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, I had the chance to talk with the head coach for Houston. One player he doesn't want to overlook is Pau Gasol. He said Pau has that hook shot that is nearly impossible to guard. And that that most of their defense on Powell will be centered around denying him the ball and forcing him to catch it away from the basket. We'll see if they can execute that plan, guys.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Portis, who's checked in for Periscope. The Rockets also changing it up. Smith checked in for Montezumas. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. And here's Rose outside. And that one's good. Rose has got his second bucket of the night. Houston in the lead. Smith dishes to Howard. And the official was called traveling violation. Well, the players you see on this list know a little bit about putting points on the board. They're the shooting guards averaging the most points over the last 10 games. James Harden, number 1.
Possibly the single most dangerous player in the league right now. I mean, a machine at the offensive end, just so hard for any defense to deal with.
Yeah, and what I like about him most is that he's just a scorer. He's going to give you buckets from any place, inside, outside, deep, driving to the lane. I mean, he puts it in the basket.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Capella's checked in, and Corey Brewer's subbed in for Trevor Ariza. Now, here is Smith, currently averaging almost 6 points a game.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from three-point range.
Smith, that only a few guys, and it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Smith kicks to Terry. Watching the line there, that'll be a backcourt violation.
And now we get a moment to see the numbers for James Harden. He's averaging 28 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
You know, the scheme just seems to run much more smoothly when he's in the game because he knows where everybody is at all times.
Now here's Holland. In the trade.
And you know, back to D. Rose, he grew up in a really dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe. Aaron Brooks is checked in for the Bulls. The Rockets shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
Really hasn't come together for them as a group in terms of free throw shooting. Just around 70% on the season.
Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Brewer with the steal. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Terry. Capella kicks to Terry. The feed to Brewer. Jacks up a 3. The offensive rebound. And it's Smith missing.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on it.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Terry against Brooks. That's tipped. Outside Holiday. Here's Portis, guarded by Harden. That puts them in the lead. Portis has got his first 2 points.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
Fast break. Here comes Chicago. And finished off by McDermott.
It doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And it's Terry off the drive. It's tipped. And oh, here we go. Brooks got it, the fast break chance. And finished off by McDermott.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. It's Chicago as they end the first quarter with a massive 16-5 run. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. Let's take a moment to hear a little bit from Josh Smith about his development throughout his NBA career. You kind of hear that growth in his voice, don't you think? And it's interesting to hear Josh Smith talking about getting introspective about himself and his game at this point of his career.
You know, that's a great point there, Kevin. I mean, like he says, he really has grown tremendously as a player, as a teammate, as a man, and just as an adult person in society. And he's become a real credit to our game.
And buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. And you might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Derrick Rose is out there with E'Twaun Moore. Then it's Pau Gasol. Then there's Dunleavy. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Moore outside. Puts it up from 12, and he hits the jump shot. And now an 8-point Bulls lead.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch off. One thing about Corey Brewer, he's a defense specialist, has a combination of size and quickness that's real hard to score against. I mean, equally good at defending in the half court or transition.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Bulls ball. This break gives us the chance to see which teams have been the most successful in the transition game this month. The Rockets, number 1.
Now, they've been playing an exciting brand of basketball during that time. I mean, taking every chance to get out in the open floor.
Chicago leading by 6. Rose attacking, and that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
And a quick look at the numbers for Trevor Ariza. Since the All-Star break, he's been unstoppable. He's around 14 points per game, 3.5 steals, and 5 assists. And you look at his gaudy steal numbers, defensively, he makes his presence felt on every possession.
And you know what I like about it, Greg, is he gets great position. He uses those small mitts of his to rip the ball out of there.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. Dunleavy kicks to Rose, expanding his range. It's rebounded by Houston. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game, Greg. I mean, I don't know if the crowd will get a chance to take a breath in this one. What a night so far for Rose. 10 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point lane.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out of him.
The Bulls making a switch here. Snell's checked in. So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their heads for not going harder after him. Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand, Jen. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Left side Rose puts it up from 12. The way up missed.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances. At the free throw line here.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Houston shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact. And guys, you know, we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating. Dwight Howard may be the best overall rebounder in the last decade. 5 times out of the last 8 years, he's led the league in rebounding. That's almost impossible to do in the modern NBA.
Everly with the ball, and Rose picks him up defensively. Monty Eunice, and he uses the glass on the layup.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
Here's Ariza, finished off the break. Now it's just a 3-point Bulls lead.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. From deep, Rose, but they recover it. Second chance shot. No good. And it's Houston the other way. Ariza. It's stolen by Rose. More up top. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. And the Bulls lead by 5.
2 minutes.
Howard is still Clark, an efficient rebounder, still prolific in fact, but he's no longer dominant. Last year he had not one 20-plus rebound game. Tell me the last time that happened.
Well, you know, this being Dwight's 12th season in the league, Kevin, a lot of wear and tear on him. I think he's trying to fight through it, and he's still very much more than serviceable. He wants to get a ring, and he's doing his part to try to make that happen.
Timeout called the Rockets. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of the game, you have to stay hydrated.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, well, the Rockets coach had some advice for the team over that last break. The focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through Ariza. The coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Harden gets to Smith, puts the move on, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Guy Josh Smith, an interesting case. Clark, he shot about 2 triples a game last year. Yet for the last 3 seasons, his free throw percentage has been under, surprisingly, 55%.
Yeah, and that's terribly troubling. I mean, his three-point percentage improved in Houston, but the free throws, really, he can do much better than that. You look at his stroke, I think it's just a matter of concentration with Josh.
Rose passes to Brooks. Off wide. With his 3.
And that misses. That would have put him up.
I'm not even going to comment.
sure there's actually a buzzer to beat.
And with Smith and his shooting, a lot of it is mental. I mean, he has a terrific stroke from anywhere. The free throws are all in his head because he can make threes. He's just got to be a little more focused.
In the corner, it's McDermott.
Rockets foul.
Justin Holiday checked in for Derrick Rose.
Substitution for the Bulls. Justin Holiday.
46 seconds left to play here in the half. And again, no good by Chicago.
And, you know, thinking again about Smith, he made some big shots for the Rockets last year, but you never know quite what you're going to get with him taking perimeter shots.
Chicago trailing here. To the inside. Brooks misses.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to the Magic.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
Here's Portis. They get a hand on it, and so it...
Josh, you...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. Houston holding the upper hand after the first two quarters. They've got a 3-point lead. Starting with Kenny, your take.
Well, their passing was impressive. They're in a good position to win this game, in large part because of those assists. And this is the thing. You win as a team in this league. You have to share the basketball to succeed. If they carry that level of unselfishness in the second half, they're going to be tough to beat.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
They haven't gotten to the line enough, and I think that's an area they can improve. They need to be more aggressive. Right now they're hanging there, but this could change in the second half. They need to challenge defenders and try to control the momentum and get to the foul line a little bit more.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. A fantastic game. Derrick Rose in this one.
To the line.
And mostly he's been getting to the line, guys. I mean, he has the free throw total to show for it, as well as the bumps and bruises.
So on the floor for Houston, Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modiunas and Howard the post pair, and it's Beverly in at the one spot. Pass to Ariza, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. Plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that wall.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
It's Harden with the drive, and Houston again with the bucket.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Here's Rose. It's hauled in by Beverly.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
No problems knocking that one down. 15 points for Ariza.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
From deep, Rose. With another miss. Rockets lead by 4.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Dunleavy for three, and he gets it to go. Dunleavy's got himself going. And there, his first points of the game in the deep ball. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Well, we get a look here now at the small forwards with the fastest hands in the league and generating the most steals per game. Number one, Trevor Ariza.
And with the kind of defense he plays, it really gives his team someone to lean on at that end of the floor.
Well, he's got a big effect on their interior defense, too. I mean, so often we see him prevent penetration by coming up with a steal as the ball handler makes a move inside. He does a nice job impacting the ball in those situations. He's got an excellent pair of active hands.
Corey Brewer's checked in for Trevor Ariza.
Come on, Chicago.
Beverly against Rose. For the lead, it's rebounded by Houston. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time. And their solid play in the paint continues, guys.
And that's been their focus, it seems, throughout the game. I like the discipline that they've showed in terms of creating those opportunities on the inside.
Tony Snell checked in for the Bulls.
Tony Snell.
For Chicago, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. And more kicks to Snell. And there's a nice one-handed slam. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
Yeah, tooth and nail fight so far, guys. These sides match up really well.
Knocked loose. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Here's Dunleavy. Second shot opportunity, and the layup is up and in. Now it's a 3-point Bulls lead.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up. And mark that one down right there. It's going to be a long time until we see him miss another one like that.
Gasol wide open. He fires. Brewer with the rebound.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good look.
And that one's good. Beverly.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
For 3, Dunleavy. The Rockets pull it in.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
You may not be as lucky the next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
For the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and Smith subbed in for Maniunas. Brooks against Terry. The drive by Brooks lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense. At that. And the cannot hit. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. Three-pointers. Snell. That's good. Snell's got 5 points now this quarter.
The three-point shot has been a real weapon for them in the second half.
Yeah, they've really done a good creating good looks from the outside, and now they've really got it going.
Chicago leading by 5.
And remember last year, the Rockets signing Josh Smith after he was waived last season, picked him up with their biannual exception. A nice low-risk move for adding athleticism, defense, and just pure talent to their front court.
I think you're right about Josh Smith, not the most efficient scorer throughout his career, but Clark, the Rockets are all about efficiency.
They really are. They're very numbers-centric in that organization. Not a natural fit, but maybe they can influence him to become more selective with his shots, and that's the key, Kevin.
Brooks. And the shot falls short this time. Rockets trail by 3. Terry kicks to Smith. No good with the layup.
Oh, nice play on D. Got that hand in the face and prevented him there from getting an easy look.
Exactly. Alert and aware. Really reacted quickly to that shot attempt.
Really crisp. Intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Terry against Brooks. There's a screen. A wide open look here for Terry. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Terry's got his second basket of the night. To the paint. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Takes the 3. And the rejection by Harden. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut to just 1 on the basket from Josh Smith.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early. In transition, to attack when it's there. Because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Harden. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Here's Portis. Here's McDermott. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. Bulls lead by 1.
Every dime is a flake.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Well, the Bulls shooting 41% for the game. We've got Dunleavy. Portis is out there with Pau Gasol. And there's Etuan Moore. And it's Rose in at the point guard position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Screen by Howard. Moore with the steal. Gasol dishes to Dunleavy. Inside. The kick out to Rose. Shoots a 3. Poked away. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Chicago.
They've been penetrating with a certain amount of ease, guys. Just as much in this half as the first.
Something we've also seen them doing tonight is getting the long ball to go down. Big points from outside.
Moniunas is checked in for Capella. Pass to Dunleavy. Foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's on Jason Terry. Watching Mike Dunleavy Jr., he's simply the mark of consistency. We know he's in his mid-30s, but you know exactly what you're going to get out of him every season. I think Tom Thibodeau, last year's Chicago coach, really admired that and loved it.
It's so funny watching Mike Dunleavy Jr. play. I remember when his dad coached me when I was with Portland, and he was a little kid running around, and all of a sudden he's become this great NBA player. But you're right, though. He's made himself into a valuable asset in terms of the role he's been given for the Bulls. He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
There's Rose with the 3. That's good. Rose has got the lead up to 8 now for the Bulls.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
Talking about Dunleavy, boy, I tell you, he was playing at a high level already by his second season in the league. Practically every statistic across the board matches up since then. And that's over a decade later.
And getting back to Dunleavy's...
They can't guard us on the perimeter.
One of those guys who have really worked on the nutrition. He's hitting the weight room. I could make the case that he was a tougher, better player last year, especially on defense than at any other time in his career.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Thanks, Doris.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Beverly against Rose. In the corner, it's Brewer. There's the 3. That's good.
I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass up.
Chicago leading by 7. Here's Rose. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials on the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
And continuing to expand his arsenal last season, Patrick Beverly, the guard for the Rockets. Career highs in assists and rebounds per game, and he's one of the smallest guys on the floor.
Yeah, and he's really working on the details of becoming a better playmaker, becoming a guy that has coaches trust him to handle the basketball in those crucial situations.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here.
Rockets ball. Timeout charge to Houston.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here. And every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
And the best way to do that when you're missing shots is to get to the foul line. Be aggressive, get to the foul line, and knock down some of those freebies, and the tide can turn for you. It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
And there's the pass to Portis. The three-pointer, no good. Rockets trail by 8. Brewer, good.
All quarter long, he's been zeroed in and knocks down big shot after big shot here in the 4th.
Rose in the post, defended by Beverly. Rose can't hit.
Oh, excellent interior D to force the miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that. Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
In the corner, it's Dunleavy. Rockets with the rebound. Ronnie Eunice has got 4 rebounds in this game. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. And the Rockets making a change here. Harden's checked in. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the 4th. Rose passes to Portis. That 3 off the mark. Rockets trail by 4. Here's Harden. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Rose, that's good.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get in the ball and get out of the way.
You gotta like what Derrick Rose has done in this game.
He's dialed in from long range. They got to stay in his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
.52 left in the 4th quarter. Here's Beverly. That's good. And so Howard with the assist.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist. Boy, he shows a lot of desire when he's fighting for that tough board, and his length doesn't hurt either.
And Beverly kicks to Harden. And Howard, here we go. And he banks in the layup. And it's now only a 1-point Bulls lead.
That close to the rim, and it's easier to make shots.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's had.
Timeout called the Rockets. They're down by 4. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth quarter. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Houston. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth quarter. Harden, soft touch off the glass.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Moore with the bucket.
Going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
It's Harden with the drive. The shot misses. And it's Chicago the other way. They've led by as much as 10. Down low. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Connects. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
Well, we can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, you got the lead. Burn some clock here.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Down low. Connects. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
There's not a lot you can do when Howard is on like he is now.
Rose goes in. Money!
I tell you what, this is the white-hot version of Derrick Rose right now.
Timeout charge to Houston.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're trailing by 3. 27 seconds left in the fourth. Chicago making a switch here. Bairstow's checked in.
Cameron Bairstow.
27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Buries it. And that shot brings them to within just 1.
This is exactly what happens when you allow James Harden to heat up.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that will put them up by 2. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Now you need every basket you can get.
Greg, I think they're still alive here, but they better execute every trip down the floor from here on out.
They foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
That's his 4th personal.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
The Bulls, 2 shots.
And he does get the second one. And that makes it a 3-point lead. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. To tie it up. Can't knock in the 3. Feeds it to Moniunas. Off target from downtown. And so the big win by Chicago in a tight game. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. We were just wondering what would happen next. Major problems. We saw good.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Derek, you were able to maneuver in and out of the lane and handle many tough shooting situations. How did that become such a big part of your game?
That's something I'm used to, I guess. Just playing in the park, playing in the gym, trying to shoot crazy shots, and thank God they be going in.
Well done, Derek. Thank you. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin. Much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose. He had an outstanding fourth quarter where he... And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.